What's up? Tuesday's Tuesday. You already know what time it is. Today we will be talking about clarity without. What's up? What's up? Give everybody a few minutes. And then we'll get started. This music is a little bit depressing, so let's kill that. All right, y'all. Today we are talking about clarity without structure. What's up, Zalani? Appreciate you tapping in. All right, what's up, y'all? Each and every Tuesday, we do the Legacy Layout Live, where we bring up different topics about alignment. As y'all know, I am hosting the Alignment Summit here in Houston, Texas, April 10th and 11th. The summit is for CEOs, founders, leaders, and their teams. So, this is not your average leadership conference. This is where we're going to come with your team and we're going to build strategies that last and that work. So, before we can get into building strategies, we really have to understand alignment. So, today's topic is clarity without structure. And clarity without structure is misalignment. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up? All right. So, as we're talking about clarity, let's just define clarity. What does clarity mean? What does clarity look like? So, for me in my business, clarity is knowing your calling, knowing your revenue goals, know the type of life you want, know the impact you want to make. Like you're clear on where you want to go. You understand it. You know exactly what it is that you want to do. That is how we define clarity, right? You can articulate it beautifully. You can tell any and everybody about your vision, your business, what it is that you're doing. You're clear on that. But what's lacking is the structure. So let's talk about that. Exactly what is structure? So in business, when you have clarity, you have a goal that you want to reach. If there's nothing in place to ensure that you're able to reach those goals, then nothing is going to happen. So that's what I want to dig in today. What's up, B Love? I know you've been hitting me up. I am alive. So all right, y'all. So structure is calendar discipline. So I don't know how many people actually use their calendars, but that is my favorite app. Okay. If it is not on my calendar, then it did not happen. If it is not on my calendar, I'm not going to be there. I didn't know, I'm not there. So making sure that you monitor your calendar. If you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, if you're any type of business, you have to make sure that you're putting things in your calendar because it's very important to be on time and be prepared for everything that you have an opportunity for. Another way to ensure that we're putting structure in our businesses is clear roles, clearly defining what part everybody plays in the bigger picture. So I can give an example. I am a CEO of a production company. I don't pick up video. I mean, I'm not a video. I'm not a videographer. I don't pick up cameras. However, everybody has their role. And so to make sure there's clarity and we all can operate at our highest levels, it's very important that I define everybody's role. So for you, if you have a business and you have a team member, or maybe you have an assistant, or maybe you're using Chat GBT, we definitely have to know what everybody's role is and how they're going to play a part in bringing that vision to life. Next, we talk about SOPs. Now, when I mention SOPs to my clients, some of them are clueless on what that means. So that's standard operating procedures. Standard operating procedures is going to protect you, your company, and your clients. It is the guideline. It's just like being in school. It's the rules, it's the regulations, and it helps you to keep things in place. Because when you're building business, you can't prepare for everything that's going to come your way. Sometimes personalities clash, sometimes people don't show up, anything can happen. But if you have policies and procedures in place, they will protect you. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Another thing that can add structure to your business is financial systems. How are you tracking your finances? Don't tell me about no Zelle and no Cash App because that is not how you're tracking your finances. That is how you're accepting payments. What are you doing to know how much money is coming in and how much money is going out? How do you know what service is selling the most if you're not tracking your income? And that's a very easy thing, y'all. You can literally get a spreadsheet, and with ChatGPT, you can type in ChatGPT all of your expenses and all of your income, and it can create a spreadsheet for you that you could track each month. But if you are not using a financial system, like I say, you can resort to a spreadsheet. But things are a lot of companies are making things affordable for us. So QuickBooks has QuickBooks for entrepreneurs. Very easy. You can connect it to your business bank account, and it will track everything for you. But it's very important, especially us entrepreneurs of color. We have to make sure that we're putting all the things in place to make sure that our businesses are thriving. So again, if you don't have a financial system, if you don't have a way to see what's going in and coming out, that's something that we need to fix right away. We are in March, y'all. We are in the last month of the first quarter. We're getting ready to prepare for the second quarter, where we should really be taking off in our businesses. So we have less than a month to get your things in order. Okay. Decision-making frameworks. How do you make your decisions? Is it just spur of the moment? Is it just you making decisions as things come? How are you making the decisions that impact your business, that impact you, and that impact your family? There needs to be some type of framework for your decision making. For me, I'm going to evaluate every decision by what impact is it making on the community? How does this affect me? And I'm going to look, if it has something to do with finances, I'm going to look at the finances to make my best decision. I'm not going to make decisions based off of emotion. And I'm not going to make decisions based off of what's needed. Y'all, my mama trying to sneak in here. Come on in, Mom. I'm on live. All right, no, you good. Okay, so we're just talking about clarity. So clarity is vision, structure is the container. So like I say, when you have this big vision, you know exactly what you want to do, you know exactly where you want to be, but there is no structure to ensure that you're going to get there. So putting those things in place in your business will help you provide that structure. Again, that's calendar discipline. Use your calendars. It's free. It's on your phone. Put it in your calendar. My favorite calendar is Google Calendar. I'm a Google Workspace type person. I use everything Google, and it works for me. But hey, each phone comes with a free calendar. So use your calendars. Define the clear roles for everybody that's a part. Define your roles, define your assistant roles. Whoever's helping you bring this vision to life, you need to clearly define their roles. Implement standard operating procedures, SOPs. What can we do? What can we not do? What, like I said, SOPs are going to protect you, your company, and your clients. Financial systems. Financial system I use is QuickBooks. You can Google, look up all type of systems, but like I say, they have packages for entrepreneurs or people with smaller teams. But you need a financial system, and if you're not there to get a financial system, then you need to start with a spreadsheet. But it's very important to be tracking what's coming in and what's going out every single month. Decision-making frameworks, make sure you know how you're making your decisions, and accountability. So now that we kind of have defined clarity and we've defined structure, let's talk about the symptoms of clarity without structure. When you have the clarity, like I say, everything's clear, but you don't have the structure. These are the things that you begin to feel. You're always busy. Everybody knows somebody that's always busy, but you don't see no progression. Every time you call them, every time you talk to them, they talk about, oh man, I was so busy. I had to do this, I had to do that, I had to do that, but you don't see it. You don't see anything that they're producing. That's because they have a clear vision, but they don't have structure. Starting strong, finishing weak. So this happens at the beginning of every year. Everybody talks about this year I'm gonna stop doing this and I'm gonna start doing this. Everybody kicks off the first quarter with a whole lot of energy, and by March, which is right now, things are weak. We right back to how we ended last year. We right back to November. We right back to last year when things were not as smooth. We start off the year with good energy, but then we fall weak. That's because we have clarity, but we don't have structure. Team confusion. This is a big one. A lot of people don't have teams, but once you start getting teams, you'll see that if you do not have clarity, if you do not have structure, then your team is all that. This is all they're going to do, because they don't know what's the next step, because they're lacking the clarity and the structure that's needed to build a team. Emotional leadership. Now, this is hard. I'm guilty of emotional leadership. I'm an emotional person, but this is something that you have to work on. You need to lead. First of all, I'm a transparent leader, so I'm very clear on my life, what I go through, and how I manage through these situations. But when it comes to leadership, I'm going to focus on the facts and what's right in front of us and the impact, not my emotions. But that's something I've had to learn over these 18 years of being a leader. I've had to learn, hey, when your emotions are high, you just have to step back, take a moment. You can't address every situation right there in the moment. Sometimes you just have to take a breath, think about it, think it through, and then go back and approach the situation. Revenue inconsistencies. I don't know about y'all, but I've had that. I've had where the first quarter we were making money, and then the second quarter, what happened? Where did everybody go? The revenue is inconsistent. That's because there's a lack of structure. And last but not least, burnout. Working in circles, working in circles, working in circles, because the structure is not there. Like I say, every morning you wake up, you know exactly what you want to do, who you want to be, and how you want to show up, but you don't have the structure to ensure that you're doing that. So these are all symptoms of clarity without structure. And as y'all know, what this is all about, which is misalignment. So when you have clarity, but you don't have structure, you are misaligned. You are not able to do the things that you need to do at its highest level. So I'm trying to talk very broad so that we all can kind of gain from this. All right. So I like to always talk about like a personal reflection, okay? A moment that actually affected me when it comes to clarity without structure. So maybe I think it was like 4 years ago. I left my current employment, a six-figure job, benefits, everything. I thought life was great and I was getting ready to take off, but God had other plans for me. And then He moved me over into a creative world. And the first couple of years of building my business, I knew exactly what I wanted, right? I knew that I wanted to create a space for creatives. I knew I wanted to create a place where businesses can come and make content and thrive. I knew I wanted to cultivate community, hence the name of my company. That was clear from day one. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and that's how I was able to walk away from what I was currently doing and just fully immerse myself into this business. However, I didn't have the structure. This is a brand new business for me. I'm coming from a whole different background. So I had to take the time to build the structures that I needed to ensure that the clarity was there, the vision was clear, and that my team understood what it is that we wanted to do. So I'm saying all that to say that everything's not going to be perfect as a leader. Everything's not going to be perfect as a CEO. But it is your job, it is your responsibility to ensure that you're doing the things you need to do with self to be able to take your visions to the next level and be able to put your team in position. All right. So I got a few people on live. The chat works. Anybody ever experienced anything where they missed the line? They could clearly see what it is that they want to do, but they didn't have the structure. Have you ever been in a situation where you've been busy, 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 but you're not producing the results? You got to be honest with yourself. If you're not going to be honest with yourself, who can? Okay. So another company that kind of experienced something similar is Uber, right? Early in Uber's early days, Uber took off. They wasn't prepared for what came when they started Uber. It was rapid growth, but it was internal chaos because the structure wasn't there. So on the outside, we're seeing like Uber is great. Everybody can call it Uber, we can get a ride. But internally, they were suffering because they did not have the proper structure in place to be able to be consistent in a business that grew at that scale. And a lot of us are praying to God. We're asking God, hey, can you bless our businesses? Can you bless our revenue? Can you do all of these things? But are we really ready for that? You have to ask yourself that. I know I am. So give me a second here. All right. So, how do we move from clarity to structure, right? If you are in a situation where you do have the clarity, but you don't have the structure, how do you get there? Now, I've defined everything, but in real life, how do we get there? First, we have to take our big vision and build out an operation, right? So, You got the vision. We know how we're going to get there, but what are the operations that we put in place to build out the vision? So you have to break that big vision down into quarterly objectives. And this is my strong point, y'all. I'm a strategist. Strategic planning is what I do. And I'm telling you, it is beneficial. You have to take that big vision and break it down into quarterly objectives. So what does that even mean? That means that if you have a vision that at the end of the year, you want to produce $10 million in revenue. I'm just putting a goal out there. You want to produce $10 million in revenue. You need to break that goal down into quarterly objectives. So what needs to happen in quarter one? What needs to happen in quarter 2, 3, and 4 to ensure that you're going to reach that goal of $10 million? That's step one of building the operation for your vision. Then next, you're going to take that quarterly breakdown and you're going to turn it into weekly. So monthly for some people. You could turn it into monthly or weekly. It just depends on how deep you want to get. But you're going to take, okay, for the first quarter, January, February, March, I want to put myself in position to make the $2 million towards my $10 million goal. Okay, how are you going to do that? You have to take that and break that down. Month 1, what am I going to do? Month 2, what am I going to do? Month 3, what am I going to do? That's how we start creating operations within our vision. Next, we're going to assign ownership. So once you've broken these things down to what has to happen every week, every month, every quarter, now we have to assign who's responsible for it. And if you have a small business, I'm going to let you know now. You. It's going to be you. You're responsible for it. Even if you have someone else that's assigned to it, you are still responsible for making sure that these things happen. But also us as leaders, we don't delegate enough. So we have to see who's perfect for this particular position. After we assign ownership, then we build review rhythm, right? So I tell people, building out a strategy is just one thing. Next, the biggest part is actually working the strategy. So this review part is very important. I think us as business owners, this is the part that we're not consistent in. So once you have put down what your goals are for each week, each month, each quarter, the review process looks like, did we meet those KPIs? Did we meet those goals? What do we need to change? Do we need to recalibrate? Weekly meetings, monthly meetings. It just depends on how you're building your business, but you have to figure out what do you need to put in place to measure your goals. If you're not measuring your goals, if you're just setting the goals and then you just expect to reach them at the end of the year, that's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest and transparent with you. That's not going to happen. But if I have a goal in a year and each week I'm seeing if I'm making progression towards that goal, the only thing that's going to stop me is me. Even if I don't hit that goal right at the end of the year, as long as I keep going, as long as I keep reviewing this process, strategizing, taking out the things that don't work, adding things that work, you will eventually hit that goal. And last, but definitely not least, when it comes to how to move from clarity to structure, is protecting your energy. Everybody can't go with you. Everybody can't be around you, and everybody's not going to understand you. Sometimes your vision is so big that the people that you grew up with, the people you love and care about, think you're crazy. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with that. You are the one that has the vision. You have to understand it, and you have to protect your energy, your peace, and your vision with everything in you. So, vision attracts people, but structure keeps them. When you're doing something great, like my boy Just Dan, I don't know if he's still on here, but he just did a challenge called Just Run. It was amazing. He had people all over the world hashtag Just Run and talk about what inspired them to run, right? All over the world. A big thing. So that's attracted. People are attracted to that because he's doing this challenge. He's talking about it. Then you see one person do it. Then you see another person do it. And another person. Okay, that's attracting us to his vision. But what's going to keep us going is the structure that he put in place. He let us know exactly how do we join this, right? How do we play a part in this challenge? He let us know. We must follow him. We must hashtag Just Run and all the other things that we did. But he put structure in place to ensure that not only are we attracted to this vision, but the structure is going to keep us a part of it. And I participated in the challenge, went all the way through with it, watched the winner and everything. That's how we have to handle our businesses. Okay? We have to put the vision out there. Like I said, it's going to attract the people, but we have to put the structure in place to ensure that we're going to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish. Now, The reason why I'm doing this live every single week, this is week 3. I'm getting on here. Today I have a lot of interaction, but it's been times I've got on here and spoke to no one and still had the same level of energy because this is bigger than me. This is not about me. This is something somebody can go watch at any point of time. This is about us as business owners knowing that we must be in alignment with our vision, in alignment with ourselves in order to build something that lasts. For me, it's all about legacy. Money is going to come and go, but it's about what are you doing to impact the generations ahead. So, as I stated at the beginning of this, I'm doing the Alignment Summit. Not just me and other people. We're hosting the Alignment Summit April 10th and 11th right here in Houston, Texas, where we are going to do all of this in real time. So that whole breakdown I just gave you on how to move from clarity to structure, which was take the vision and break it down into quarterly objectives. Take those quarterly objectives and break them down into monthly objectives. Take those monthly objectives and break them down into weekly objectives. Assign ownership, review and measure your goals, and then protect your energy. That's what we're going to be doing at the Alignment Summit in real time. What this looks like on that Friday, we're going to get together and we're going to strategize you, meaning we're going to work on our own operational understanding. It's all about our own leadership within ourselves. That's what Friday is going to look like. Saturday, we're coming in to work. So if you want to wear your pumps and your heels, that's cool, but be ready to work. We're going to have keynotes. After each keynote, we're going to break out into a strategy session for each quarter. So in April, we'll already be in the second quarter. So the first quarter we're going to strategize is quarter 2, then quarter 3, quarter 4, and then quarter 1 of 2027. We are preparing ourselves to build legacy and to build something that lasts. So I appreciate y'all tapping into another live. Remember, leadership starts with you. Each and every Tuesday, I'm getting on this live. I also have an ebook. You can go to my website, strategizewithjasmine.com. You can get the ebook, which will start opening up your mindset. But listen, y'all, I am serious about this. This is not about me. This is in obedience. God called me to do this conference, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm very serious about it. So again, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Leadership starts with you, and be great. Peace.